guys, welcome back for another video. I'd mentioned in a previous video about my intentions of trying to collect most everything as far as the Tenchi Muyo franchise and different titles that were related. So I just kind of want to go through some of this quickly here. Starting off, of course, with the original Tenchi Muyo OVA, the original release from Pioneer on 3 discs. And then moving on to the Funimation, this is the second half of the first OVA series as far as the Tenchi Muyo Ryo Oki arc. This is a tin art box originally released by Funimation. And then we also have the Tenchi Muyo Tenchi in Tokyo series. And this is 8 discs released by Genion Entertainment. This is the signature series release. And then we also have Tenchi Universe. This also is the Genion signature series release on, once again, 26 episodes, 8 DVDs. And continuing on then, one of the more rare items, the Tenchi Muyo Mihoshi special, along with the Magical Girl Pretty Sammy DVD release. That from Pioneer Entertainment. And then this is from Genion, the Tenchi Muyo movie collection, which has Tenchi the Movie and Tenchi the Movie 2, as well as Tenchi Forever on DVD. And from Funimation, then we move on to Tenchi Muyo GXP. This was, I would say, one of the possibly one of the last 8-disc releases from Funimation, although they did recycle these and put them into the Viridian collection as well. You know, the crappy, cheap cardboard box kind of release. Otherwise, it was kind of cool, the pouch that they put it in, but just going in those cardboard boxes, I thought really scratched up the discs. But we also have the most recent Tenchi Muyo War on Geminar, or however you want to pronounce it. I think I went with Gemina, going by the Wikipedia release. But then we get into the more obscure titles with one of my last videos mentioned Magical Project S. This from Pioneer Entertainment and release subtitle only. And then also from Funimation, the Sasami. I want to go with Sasami, but the Funimation produced dub, they kept saying Sasami, and just, no offense, but Sasami sounded really fucking stupid. Sasami is the name that was in the original dub. I'm going to go with that. And getting even more obscure, of course, you might remember the video for the pickup of Photon, the Idiot Adventures. I picked this one up off of eBay. Well, I happened to, my friend Blaze happened to mention another one related to the series, which was Dual Parallel Treble Adventure. And so a little looking around on eBay led me to this, which is the premium art box release from Pioneer Entertainment of Dual Parallel Treble Adventure. Really nice set. It's another one of those where they did a art box and then a slipcover as well, which kind of gives you a 3D effect. Only this one is neat because they did actually do the artwork on 4 sides of the slipcover. So it's kind of not often that you see something like this where you have the 4 discs in the box and then you've got the image over it as well, which is really cool. But kind of go into this series here. This is a 14-episode series created in 1999 by Masaki Kajishima and produced by AIC, both being well known for the Tenchi Muyo franchise. Licensed by Pioneer, later known as Genian or Genian, take your pick. In addition to the original run, an OVA special was added to conclude the series as a de facto 14th episode. The title of this refers to the fact the story takes place in two parallel universes, a concept loosely based on multiverse theory. The plot of this 22 years ago, a huge alien artifact is found on a construction site by a worker named Yotsuga. The foreman orders that the artifact be broken apart to avoid delays. So, as Yotsuga walks toward the dumpsters to dispose of a small piece of the artifact, the world splits into two. In one world, he tosses the piece and the artifact is destroyed, whereas in the other world, he keeps the artifact and it leads to the discovery of extraterrestrial technology that changes history. So, in the present, Kazuki Yotsuga is a high school student who is shunned by other students as an otaku. His website describes battles against giant robots that only he can use, but it is mostly as a result of him being occasionally seen by the other students, reacting to their presence. So one day, the most popular girl in school, Mitsuki Sanada, approaches him to tell him that she likes his stories. However, it's only a ruse, as she lures him to her father, Dr. Ken Sanada, who wishes to study him for his research on parallel worlds. After being thrown into the other possible world by Dr. Sanada's devices, Kazuki finds himself in Dr. Sanada's basement, but everything is covered with cobwebs, and Kazuki goes home, but his parents no longer recognize him, where he is found by Mitsuki, who has also followed him, along with a military escort. She takes him to the Earth Defense Force HQ, a paramilitary operation led by that world's Dr. Sanada, who then soon employs him as a giant robot pilot. And over the course of the series, Kazuki manages to attract several very different women without even trying. Does that seem, any of you who have watched the Tenchi Muyo series know that Tenchi has that kind of luck with women? Anyway, he becomes a hero. He is later taken prisoner by Dr. Sanada's arch-rival, Dr. Rara, the father of this world's Mitsuki. Mitsuki Rara eventually defects and is put with Kazuki and her counterpart. Later on, a new type of robot made from the artifact is deployed that can cause objects and people to be shifted between the alternate worlds, and during the battle against it, Kazuki and Mitsuki Sanada are sent back to their original world, and they discover the world's Dr. Sanada there covered up their disappearance, claiming they had eloped. As it turns out, the frequent travel between the worlds is taking a toll on the universe itself, as the barriers separating them begin to break down, and this will eventually lead to both worlds vanishing. So a decision must be made. Since Kazuki and the alien technology are exclusive to each world, one must be eliminated to halt the destruction. The robots are destroyed, the worlds combined into one, an expression of Kazuki's wish for all his girlfriends to continue to stay together with him. And it says here, the creator of both Duel and Tenchi Muyo, Masaki Kajishima, has confirmed that Duel is in fact an alternative version of the Tenchi Muyo universe. And one other little note here, it just happens to mention, if I can find this here, that let's see, since 2001 there's been fan speculation about a Duel sequel, but according to AIC's website there are currently no plans to release any sequel. It has been confirmed by the creator of Tenchi Muyo and Duel that the two series are related, although the extent of the connection is unknown. Duel being a parallel dimension to the Tenchi OVA series, similar to Photon. Let's see here. It says here some mech is found also during the episode of Tenchi GXP, which runs parallel with the Tenchi OVA series. Mitsuki Sanada and Ken Sanada appear in the Tenchi GXP novels as alternative versions of themselves. Sasami and other Tenchi Muyo franchise characters are featured in insets found in the Duel Parallel Trouble Adventure discs. It also mentions Keone, Ramya, other people here. Anyway, they appear in a brief Easter egg cameo in the series OVA special, also known as episode 14, and there is much speculation concerning the ancient civilization that the character in here, D, is from. And yeah, Easter eggs. There are. It did note on elsewhere on here too that there are Easter eggs on here, hidden Easter eggs as DVD extras. So I got to got to do a little looking up and before too long and find out what those are specifically and get those put on this video as well. But let me go ahead and open up the set for you first of all, and I mentioned once again the the overlay on the plastic screen here, and then the actual art box as well, which this time, as compared to the Burn Up Scramble one, they did use a good solid chipboard art box. And we'll have to say once again, for a box that is about 12 or 13 years old now, this one is in amazingly good shape. I can see like hardly any wear on the corners. That's just boggles my mind for this being the age of the release on this. Guessing that the person that had it before basically didn't touch it. It's like they watched everything once and said, okay, that's it, going on the shelf. And I don't know, but also it kind of gets me. I look at this character on the front here, and she has no arms. Where are her arms? Or is she really... Maybe she's holding them behind their back, but it just kind of looks strange looking at this cover without this on the top of it. But yeah, and here's the image that's on this side with the characters on the spines of the DVDs, and the two different images for the reverse side, and of course the spine on here. And we've got the top, and one more time the information on the bottom here as well. And get in close so you can see that. Go ahead and take the discs out. And I looked through this before, and it was kind of funny how they did the screenings on all of these as well. Let me start. This is the first in the series, episodes 1 to 4 on here. And you probably noticed that the screening is, well, non-existent. I mean, it's there, but it's kind of one of those where they looks like they just kind of etched it in to where you can barely see it. Ooh, disco lights. That's kind of pretty. Don't mean to get off track there. Yeah, it still has the original comment card in here as well for Pioneer Entertainment, care of The Right Stuff International. Funny how Right Stuff took care of all those services for the anime companies. And of course a website that probably no longer exists, and a 800 phone number that probably doesn't go to anything as far as what's mentioned there. And I didn't I hadn't checked to see whether the covers were reversible on these or not. There's our second disc, again with the artwork there on both sides, and the insert, and the recipe for King Salmon Yayoi Special. Interesting. And the disc, and once again one of those where it's just kind of etched in there. And go to our third disc. See once again the artwork on the front and the back, and a recipe for egg rolls. Interesting. I wonder if it's a truly legitimate recipe. And the disc once again with the etched logo in there. And finally our fourth disc. Kind of reminds me of the kid from the second season of Rurouni Kenshin. I can't think of his name right now, but the one with no expression that Kenshin fought against. And we see our back cover. And Yeah, now this is what I was mentioning earlier. All the others had etched ones. This actually has a screened dark blue screening on the disc for a Switch. Kind of odd that three were one way and the fourth disc has the dark blue cover. Well, that's up to Pioneer, and we'll never know. But instant curry, warm a packet, open packet, pour on rice, eat. Doesn't get much simpler than that, does it? All right, and so I mentioned the thing about the Easter eggs with Duel. So I had a chance to look this up quick and find a page with information about DVD Easter eggs. And there are 4 listings here. I believe one for each of the discs in here, organized by the names of the chapters. And first one here mentions a bonus animation and how to get into those animations here. Detailed instructions. And another one here. This has a bonus feature. And the Visions disc. Bonus animation. And this one here, the artifacts, a bonus feature and a bonus animation. It kind of reminds me of the set I have for XL Saga. The Imperfect Collection has a whole bunch of Easter egg videos and clips and artwork available. My favorites are some of the Menchie themed merchandise commercials, like the ones for Menchie hot dogs, Menchie barbecue sauce, the barbecue sauce of choice to eat dog with. So kind of the same thing here. Anyway, thanks once again for tuning in for another pickups video, and more to come next week. Already received notice that Squishbox has released the November treat box, if you will. So that will be coming in here, I believe, Monday or Tuesday next week. And also have some other figures coming in, as well as some new Japanese snack foods from J-List as well. So, like I said, thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you again soon.